It's important to decide what map you're going to use for each phase of your project, and so you can use this as a guide. For DMAIC projects in a defined phase, you might want to use a SIPOC or a high-level business, high-level process map. You may also want to use a detailed process map, but generally stay high level until the needs of the project dictate detail, which you wouldn't generally expect until further up or further into the process. Value stream map, of course, is invaluable at the defined phase, and then a brown paper process is generally used during a Kaizen or some other very short-term project initiative. Just looking at each of the map types, the SIPOC, for example, so this is excellent when we understand the process, but we're trying to understand also what the inputs are and what the outputs are, and then who supplies those inputs and who are the customers of the outputs. And so the SIPOC is great. I will caution you that it can be very tedious, but it is excellent in revealing the components to a process. High-level process map, the rule of thumb here is to stay into the single-digit process steps. No looping or parallel processing if you can avoid it. So try and keep it linear. And if it's not linear, consider going up one level even higher. So again, the rule of thumb is less than 10 process steps to define a high-level process map. Spaghetti diagrams are great for identifying the wastes of motion and transportation. That we'll cover in a later module. And these, so this is a layout of either machines or buildings or some other footprint of probably a factory or an office area. And then these dotted lines are measured distances using a measuring wheel as the operator or the parts move from location to location. We then measure that distance using a measuring wheel, and it gives us some sense of how much waste is involved in the process of moving a part or a person around a given area. The value stream map is an excellent tool. It shows us not only the processing times at each of the process steps, but the queue times as well, transportation times. It also shows the information flow. So in a later module when we talk about value stream mapping, we'll get into the components of the value stream map, information flow, product fulfillment, and then down here, a little hard to read in this video, this is the what we call the time ladder. So it's the process time and then the queue times. And then over here the totals of both what the customer sees, which is what we call the lead time, and then the sum of the cycle times or the processing times at each of the process steps. Swim lane diagram, another excellent tool. So on the left-hand side here you'll see functions or departments or perhaps even people, and then the process steps executed by that person or function or department. And as it crosses each of the lines here, these are the ones we want to focus in on, because every time you cross a functional line or a person, it's an opportunity for miscommunication, different agendas, delays, and other defects. And I liken this to relay teams that practice. They don't practice their running per se, they practice the handoffs, and so it is in business. The handoffs are very critical because that's where usually the problems tend to occur. And then the last one is the brown paper process. So you'll notice kind of the brown paper in the background here, and then these stickies represent process steps, and you can kind of move and morph the process into both current state and future state very easily by putting on a brown paper. So it's an excellent, quick and dirty, and yet pretty representative of the process tool that can be used by teams. You're just standing up there as a team, against a whiteboard or against a wall or something, and you can start moving things around. Great brainstorming tool, and as I just said, also great for representing both current state and potential future state.